Hello food storage friends, and welcome to another episode of Everyday Food Storage, where I show you how to make insanely delicious food using your food storage in everyday ways, and also how to use food storage in your very own recipes. Now in today's episode, I'm going to show you how to make these delicious Apple-Cinnamon Oatmeal Muffins. It's going to be a great way for you to be able to send oatmeal on the go with your kids, and also a fantastic way to use a lot of food storage. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, these apple oatmeal muffins are going to be amazing, and they're going to be amazing for a couple reasons. Number one, they're going to use a ton of food storage. I'm talking powdered milk, whole wheat flour, oats, powdered eggs, and of course the dehydrated apple slices. Now, here's your big food storage money saver for the week, okay? We've got our oats. That's what we're featuring this week, right? So the best place to get them is, of course, the LDS Home Storage Center. Why? Because you're going to save a ton of money. For each case of oats you buy, you're going to save upwards of $10 to $15 compared to other food storage companies. Now, if you're not familiar with the LDS Home Storage Center, it's super easy. I'll have a link below where you can link to it. You can either go to one of their centers and shop, or you can actually shop online and have it shipped straight to your house. It is awesome. Now, for this recipe, it's going to be easy. We're just going to go ahead and mix in our dry ingredients, add in our liquid, and get going. Okay, now to begin with, we're going to add in our regular dry ingredients, which would be our oats, our whole wheat flour, our baking powder, baking soda, and salt, and cinnamon. Now, the original recipe calls for eggs, and since I'm using powdered eggs, I'm just going to go ahead and put in my dry powdered eggs right now. 2 tablespoons for the 2 eggs. And I'm also going to go ahead and put in my powdered milk right there while it's all dry. Now, here is my other tip for you. I actually don't buy a lot of brown sugar anymore because I just use sugar and then molasses, because I can get molasses cheap from stores like Smart & Final, where you can buy it in bulk. So I'm just going to go ahead and add in my white sugar. Now, to use brown sugar, it's the same amount of sugar, so I put in 3/4 cup of white sugar, and then I'm just going to add in about a tablespoon of molasses to equal that brown sugar. Now we're just going to go ahead and give this a good stir and incorporate those dry ingredients, and then we're going to add in our wet ingredients, which will be the oil and the dehydrated apples. Okay, so once that's well incorporated, we're going to go ahead and add in our oil, our 1 tablespoon of molasses, and our dehydrated apples. Now here is the big secret. The water that I would have used to make my powdered milk and my powdered eggs, I went ahead and threw in with my dehydrated apples. That way they're hydrated, and I'm not going to throw away the water that it hydrates in because it gives it such great flavor. And that way we're adding in more flavor, not wasting, and all of that. So we're going to go ahead and add in our apples. And then we're going to stir until this is combined. Now, just like any other muffin batter, you don't want to over mix it. So we just want to stir it until it is combined. Okay, now as you can see, this batter is coming together. I can already smell the cinnamon and the apples. It's going to taste amazing. Now, once you have this incorporated, we're going to add it into our muffin tins. Now, you can do this as 12 regular size muffins or 6 jumbo ones, and because I like the philosophy go big or go home, we're going to put them in our jumbo muffin tins. Now, the easiest way I've found to scoop muffin mix is obviously a ice cream scoop. Pick this baby up at a thrift store and have never been happier. Go ahead and put in a scoop or so in each muffin tin. Okay, so now that you have your muffins at this point, you can either bake them or you can add a little something extra by adding a little strudel topping on the top. Now I made this streusel by combining equal parts of oats, whole wheat flour, and sugar along with some cold butter and cutting it in until it creates a coarse texture. Okay, now when your muffins are ready to put in the oven, you're going to go ahead and put them in a preheated 425-degree oven for just 5 minutes. Then you're going to go ahead and reduce the heat to 375 and continue to cook for another 25 to 26 minutes. Okay, now when your muffins are done, go ahead and remove them from the oven and put them on a cooling sheet to cool. Okay, so my muffins have cooled and I am dying to try them because my whole house smells amazing. You can smell the cinnamon, the oatmeal. It just smells like heaven wrapped up into a muffin. Now let's go ahead and give it a try, especially with the streusel topping. I mean, this is really good. Let's go ahead and get a bite here. And they're super moist. No one's ever gonna know there's whole wheat in them. It's so good. Now, if you need the recipe, make sure you visit my website, storethisnotthat.com/everydayfoodstorage, and make sure you visit me next week for another wonderful episode of Everyday Food Storage.